Lamplight Audiobooks presents Hamilton by Catherine Cookson, narrated by Julia Barrie. Part 1. The Chrysalis. 1. I've done it. I've really done it. After 13 years, I've done it. How long have I wanted to do it? Oh, for the whole of the 13 years. Yes, all of that time. Now I don't care what happens to me. I don't. I'm sitting here in this dreadful place wondering why it should have happened at all. And to me. I'm what you call inoffensive. Well, that's how most people see me. Some even think I'm odd. And of course that's without them knowing anything about Hamilton. When did I first meet up with Hamilton? Oh, it must have been when I started talking to myself when I was 7 years old. I didn't call him that then, though. I remember very little before I was 7. Some people can go back to when they were 2 or 3 and recall instances as plainly as if they'd happened yesterday. But there are only 2 I can recall before that time. One was my first day at school, when the children stood me against the wall and measured my arms, making me hold them out straight in front of me, when they would try to pull my left hand to meet my right. And when they couldn't, Katie Moore, who lived 3 doors down, explained to them that God had made me arms like that to get even with me mother, who thought herself better than anyone in the terrace, and she had no right after what had happened. Long after I was 7, I tried to get Katie to tell me what had happened to make my mother like she was, but she didn't seem to know. The other event I can recall before that early age is of my mother knocking a book out of my hand, then sitting staring at me, and me sitting staring at her, too frightened to speak, until she yelled, "Why? Why?" At the same time swiping with her hand a cup and saucer and jug off the kitchen table. And then she cried. But from when I was 7, I could give you almost a day-to-day report of things that happened. My first vivid memory is of George. Oh, I liked George. Oh, I did. Because George was common. Funny how soon I discovered that all the nice things were common, such as eating ice cream out in the street, or when it was raining, running along a gutter and kicking the water up in sprays, or jumping in the garden and screaming as you jumped because of a wonderful feeling inside you which regrettably lasted only a second, or wiping your bacon dip up with your bread. But the most common thing was to say what you were thinking, especially if they were funny things. This wasn't only common, it was law.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?